The best years of your life occur when you decide to take responsibility for your problems. Do not blame them for your mother, the ecology, or the president. You realize that you control your own destiny. The art of being wise is the art of knowing what to ignore. Life doesn't make any sense without interdependence. We need each other, and the sooner we learn that, the better for us all. I know enough that no woman should ever marry a man who hated her mother. Happiness cannot be pursued, it must ensue. Once you start making the effort to wake yourself up, that is, be more mindful in your activities, you suddenly start appreciating life a lot more. Happiness is the only thing that multiplies when you share it. We are what we are because we have been what we have been, and what is needed for solving the problems of human life and motives is not moral estimates but more knowledge. If you deliberately plan on being less than you are capable of being, then I warn you that you'll be unhappy for the rest of your life. Everything can be taken from a man, but the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitudes in any given set of circumstances. We shouldn't teach great books, we should teach a love of reading. Knowing the contents of a few works of literature is a trivial achievement. Being inclined to go on reading is a great achievement. Probably the biggest insight is that happiness is not just a place, but also a process. Happiness is an ongoing process of fresh challenges, and it takes the right attitudes and activities to continue to be happy. For happy people, time is filled and planned. For unhappy people, time is unfilled, open and uncommitted. They postpone things and are inefficient. The highest and most beautiful things in life are not to be heard about, nor read about, nor seen but, if one will, are to be lived. The best way to find out whether you're on the right path? Stop looking at the path. Every person on this earth is full of great possibilities that can be realized through imagination, effort, and perseverance. When we encounter an unexpected challenge of threat, the only way to save ourselves is to hold on tight to the people around us and not let go. The truth is, bad things don't affect us as profoundly as we expect them to. That's true of good things, too. We adapt very quickly to either. Be content with what you have. Rejoice in how things are. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. When we are open to new possibilities, we find them. Be open and skeptical of everything. Genuine feelings cannot be produced, nor can they be eradicated. The body sticks to the facts. I don't know what's worse. To now know what you are and be happy, or to become what you've always wanted to be and feel alone. A life that is burdened with expectations is a heavy life. Its fruit is sorrow and disappointment. The primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation, but your thoughts about it. Be aware of the thoughts you are thinking. Whole life is a search for beauty. But, when the beauty is found inside, the search ends and a beautiful journey begins. It is a predisposition of human nature to consider an unpleasant idea untrue, and then it is easy to find arguments against it. To find out what is truly individual in ourselves, profound reflection is needed, and suddenly we realize how uncommonly difficult the discovery of individuality is. People often say that this or that person has not yet found himself. But the self is not something one finds, it is something one creates. through others we become pampered. Success requires persistence, the ability not to surrender in the face of failure. I think optimistic style is the key to persistence. The task we must establish for ourselves is not to be sure, but to be able to tolerate insecurity. Psychology, unlike chemistry, algebra or literature, is a manual for your own mind. It is a guide to life. Self-knowledge and personal development are difficult for most people, usually requires a lot of courage and perseverance. The ability to be in the present moment is a major component of mental health. The great discovery of my generation is that human beings can change their lives by changing their mental attitudes. Psychology cannot tell people how they should live their lives. However, it can provide meaning for effective personal and social change. Even when it is not completely attainable, we become better at pursuing a higher goal. Geniuses are admired, men in health are envied, men in power are feared, but only trust in men with character. When I look at the world I'm pessimistic, but when I look at people I'm optimistic. Follow your heart but take with you to your brain. Psychology helps measure the likelihood that a goal is attainable. We face continually great opportunities that are brilliantly masked by unsolvable problems. Social psychology is especially interested in the effect that the social group has in determining the experience and behavior of the individual. Any failure that we may suffer in life, we can become a small success if we follow the right path. Keep walking. Unexpressed emotions never die, they are buried alive and leave later in more ugly forms. Civilization begins when a furious person chooses a word instead of a rock. Our ability to adapt is incredible. Our ability to change is spectacular. Who lacks sex? Speaks about sex, hungry talks about food, a person who has no money, about money, and our oligarchs and bankers talk about morality.